You have to believe that you are here on this earth for a reason. And if you don't believe that you're here for a reason, your life will seriously hurt. And I started looking at my life and all the shit I went through as God put me, some God, whatever you believe in, put me here to go through this. And now I see all the hundreds of thousands of lives I'm changing by the hell I went through. There's a lot of power in that. So my purpose, as I started going through this journey, instead of looking at like, woe is me, God, man, why? I started looking at it as it's the perfect training ground. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what the you were doing, obviously. You put me in every situation possible to tell a story that needed to be told. The reason why my story resonates with people, because I don't hide. I'll tell you exactly who the I am. I will admit to it. People are great at hiding. So they want to just find peace. No, you got to take your shit, fix whatever's up in you. Don't just shove it under the rug. Fix it, and then you'll find some peace later. How the is a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. I had to believe and make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that. I wanted to quit every single day, but many dreams die while suffering. And many of us out here have suffered. And when you're suffering, I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most. When I was going through pararescue, I wanted to be a pararescueman so bad, but that water haunted me. So when the suffering got too much, my dream died. And pretty much I almost died with it. If I didn't find Navy SEALs and getting past that hump and overcoming my demons and facing my demons every day, I would have never been up here today. You can't outrun your demons. They'll always know where you're hiding. Trust me at that. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Like that first 100-mile race I've talked about several times, where I lost everything.
Still the hardest physical thing you've ever done, right?
Yes, physically and mentally, because like you just said, I was unprepared for that race.
No training. Nope. Just recap it, like zero training, running 100 miles so that you could.
And it was like 3 days later, I'm in a 100-mile race, no training at all. And when you do that, it is stupid. But what it does, if you're not going to quit it, like you just talked about, it breaks you down to nothing. You are suffering so badly, mentally and physically, that all of these demons are coming up. And you're trying to find answers, and you're trying to find answers. It was like living 19 hours. It's like 5 years I put into 19 hours of highs and lows and pitfalls and seeing the sun come up. And it was like, my God, I lived 5 years in 19 hours. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
So do you find yourself chasing that now with every ultra challenge?
No, because once you realize what you get from ultra, what you get from life, I can apply that now just by sitting here with you. You know, those tools now, I don't need to go out, even though I still do it, and go out and hammer. The hammering part is like, it's like a purging of the soul. You go out there and hammer out there.
Yeah, you got to do that every once in a while.
You got to hammer, man. You got to get after it. But now I figured out so many different ways and so many different tools through all of the journeys I've been through just growing up, man. Just being mature, just being really mature. Now you know why there's so many people that fail in this world to figure out their purpose in life. Where do I go? Because to grow that, while you may not look in front of Joe Rogan telling you my life, to get through where I became, to get through where I'm at now, there's nothing but pride I have for myself that I can't really show people. Because I have this face that they see, like, are you happy? What's wrong with you? I'm driven. I'm obsessed. Telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. This other voice that we walk very far away from is a voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So we try to get this voice out of our head completely. And we live over here in this land. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. That it's in our head saying, you know what, man? Dude, you're not doing shit. And it's not putting yourself down. People take this the wrong way in this new society. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying listen to the truth. And the truth isn't in the 20%. The truth is in this other part of your brain saying, look, man, you're wasting a bunch of percentage here. We have 80 more percent that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. To get to this light, you gotta go through all of this shit. So a lot of us know that. So everybody goes, how do you do that? You know exactly how to do that. It's all back down to a very primitive mindset of we just have to do. It's like breathing. Breathing becomes normal. Like we don't know that we're doing it. That's how you have to live your life. The biggest thing you have to do is shut off technology. You have to go dark. And what I mean by that is you have to be quiet in your mind, get away from people. We love being around people. We love talking. We love parties. We love all that. It's okay to be alone. It's also okay to be unhappy. It's okay to be unhappy sometimes, man. It's okay to say, you know what, man, I'm up. So you gotta go to the truth first. Who are you? You get really accountable and say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out. It may take months, it may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. And then from there, okay, I have my purpose. It may take a long time. No one knows their purpose because it's too loud. Find your purpose. From there, all right, you gotta start planning. People love the planning phase because it's very comfortable. And then from the planning phase, you gotta go to execution. So the execution phase we all hate, because that's where the real work begins, and that's when the failure happens, and the failure. So, but you know, that's kind of how you have to do it, because every day is a battle. Every day is a battle because your mind wants to choose the path of least resistance every day. But you don't become better by ever doing that. You become normal, and I don't want to be normal. So it may not be a life for everybody, but I find a lot of peace in not being normal. Don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back. I gotta come on audible. I gotta get my head back in the game. I gotta figure this shit out. It doesn't mean you leave. It means you study it more. It means you study it more. And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? I fail a lot, dude. I fail all the fucking time. They go, how do you handle it? What I'm trying to do, and this isn't being arrogant, man. It's being real. Not many people are trying to do. So there's not many people who can even open their fucking mouth and criticize me when I do fail. Because I'm trying to do shit, man, that many people aren't trying to do. But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Because when you're going to try to do something, not trying is failure. That's not some after school special. But when you're able to go out there is no failure. It's attempts. Because when you're trying to do something that's bigger than you, whatever you are, whoever you are, if you're paralyzed, you're trying to walk one step and you didn't fail, motherfucker. That was your first attempt. If that's your biggest thing, that's how your mindset needs to go into everything. So I don't look at it as failure is a big word that gets people down. We give so much power to words. I don't. I take the power right away. I didn't.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only. To get into the class I had to get into, I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. So I was like, fuck that, I can't do that. I grabbed my chocolate milkshake and went back to Ecolab. I'm going back to work, man. This is my life. So in this job, you're looking for cockroaches, looking for rodents and stuff like that. I don't like cockroaches too much. I hit the mother load of cockroaches. And this restaurant got full of cockroaches and rodents and everything else. And I sat there and said, this is my life. I said, this is my life. You are exactly who this is it. And I said, this ain't gonna be it for me. So in that restaurant, I quit my job, left my canister in that restaurant, my spray canister, got back in my Ecolab truck, and I went home. And I started working out like somebody. I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. And I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called whatever the fuck in the world, and be able to stand in the room and say, go f yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright and just crushing myself. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life. And I lost the weight. And I went back to recruiter. I got into that class, and I went through 3 Navy SEAL Hell Weeks in 1 year. Only guy to ever be in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year, to my knowledge. The first one I didn't make it through. The next 2 I did. And that I just didn't. I didn't stop anymore from there. And I started realizing through this process that the fucking mind is what you created. And I started opening different doors that I didn't think were even there, that I didn't think even existed. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless. And it changed my whole mindset. So I went from David Goggins and I created Goggins. And that journey is a priceless journey that is hard for me to even explain to people, because it sounds so quick and easy. Like, I lost this weight and I went through 3 Hell Weeks, I went to Ranger School, went to Delta Force Selection, whatever it is. It was brutal. It's a brutal journey every fucking day. And everybody goes, well, are you happy? If anybody knows my life story, and I try to give you just a snippet of it, where I'm at today is look like me, how my daily life looks. It don't look fun. Don't look fun. So it's a choice that people have to make in life. But what's so funny about it is even the richest of rich, who have everything, they always ask me this question. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't feel like I'm missing shit. I don't have what you all have, but you'll never in my life hear me tell you I'm missing something. And everybody is. They're missing this feeling. I found it a long time ago. And I found it right there in that willpower thing. People are missing exactly what went on with David Goggins. My name is David Goggins. I created Goggins. Goggins is the guy that can take anything you put in front of him. You want to break my legs? So be it. I have a way of going to a place like I did in that race, where all the pain and suffering that they put on top of me in Hell Week, I will reverse that pain and suffering, and I will take your soul. So every instructor that put me through Budge, my job, what drove me, was I wanted you to go home that night after you beat the living shit out of me, and I smiled in your face. I wanted you to feel worse than I did, and you were going home to a nice warm bed with your wife or your kids and a nice meal, and I was still out there in the grip, suffering for another 100 hours. I wanted you to think about me, knowing that I'm comfortable being very uncomfortable. And I want you to think about when you went through Hell Week, how uncomfortable you were and how bad you wanted to quit. Knowing I'm not thinking that way. So the dark side is something that I've designed. It's an evil place I can go that very few things can hurt me. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles. So it wasn't about losing 106 pounds. Me losing 5 pounds was an accomplishment. Right? Me losing 10 pounds and then 50 pounds. The more I did this, the more I gained confidence. I was just working. I was just sacrificing. And then through that, all these different tools started coming up. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place. We all look for toughness. We all want it, but we look for it in a comfortable environment. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. Those of you who are listening to this, whoever hear this, you will not find it. I was trying to look for it everywhere. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts, where you can't swim and you're drowning. Where you're drowning. You're drowning in life. But you say, you know what, man? I'm gonna figure out how to backstroke or something. When you quit, your mind says, we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving, so we gotta expand. We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out. A lot of people who graduate Navy SEAL training, a lot of guys don't want to go back into that water. Don't want to go back into the hard stuff. When something sucks so bad in life, this is on this that we're talking about now. Very few people want to go back. They're happy they graduated. I realized I'm the same way. I don't want to go back. I have to go back. I must go back. Because that is exactly where all the knowledge of my life exists, was back there, and what you're exactly talking about. Well, I didn't know anything about this, but how I grew a will was constantly doing these things. To now, it's just life. I wake up, while it still sucks, it's just life. You don't sit back and like, oh my God, like I have days I don't want to do it, but I know I'm going to do it. I know from years of just doing it. So that's beautiful. And human beings need to hear this. They need to stop hearing these hacks on this and that. There's no hack, bro. There's no hack. Yeah, you may this and that and saunas and all this shit it's great. There is no life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it and do it and do it and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna suck. And that's what I realized. That's what I realized. So you know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read or write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart. So guess what I gotta do? I gotta study the same shit that I got one of the highest scores in the nation on. Goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're gonna adapt and overcome now. That was my mindset. And that's how you get through things. You immerse yourself wherever it is, and you become that. I became hell, and that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. Today I was running, and this guy passed me in the car.
And it's about 100 degrees out here, 70% humidity. And the guy comes back around, looks at me. He pulls his car by me and says, "Why the f are you out here?" I said, "Because you're not." Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to do it. We need doctors. We need lawyers. We need dentists. We need teachers. We also need savages. This message I do is not for everybody. So I don't want to see that soft bullshit about, do you have sunscreen on? This message is dangerous. It's too hot. I'm not asking you to be like me. Do you. Stay hard.
And we always fall back on what's comfortable to us. What's comfortable for me was, if it's easy for me, I'm gonna do it. And so when I was going through pararescue training, I ran up against an obstacle that I didn't think I was gonna run up, and it was the water. I hated the water. But I tried hard to get over that. And I would go to the pool and I would try, but my mind wasn't strong enough. David Goggins, even with all the discipline, I didn't have that next level. When you're truly committed to something, not like where you I want to be a doctor, but when I run into this roadblock, I don't want to be a doctor. No, I'm going to be a doctor come hell and high water. I needed that kind of commitment. And David Goggins didn't know about that commitment. I knew how to wash a car. I knew how to clean a house. I knew how to, do all these manual labor jobs. But when it came down to true suffering, to the highest of suffering, I didn't have that next level of, all right, motherfucker, we have this next level. David Goggins wasn't enough. So I went into my mental lab and realized, but I want to be great, but I don't have greatness in me. So I had to create a motherfucker that was great. And in my mind, I'm really big on visualization. And people may think it's all kind of bullshit. Believe what the f you want. I don't give a shit. This is a true shit right here, man. I went in my mind, I said, okay, I want to look like this. I want to feel like this. And I want to have a mind that is fucking cast iron steel. That is never dull. That is always sharp. That was the biggest thing I wanted. I wanted to hit obstacles that f most people up, including myself, but I didn't waver. I didn't fear. I didn't run away. I just stayed and marinated in the fear, in the suffering. And through that, building Goggins, I will become Goggins when necessary. And I started to do these things on my own. I had my own training ground. I built a training ground. I wasn't Navy SEALs. If you go to Navy SEAL training not prepared, you're going to quit. So I built this training ground on my own. And I started doing these horrific things that David Goggins couldn't handle. But Goggins started slowly coming up. I started putting that visualization of the guy I wanted to create. And in that water, when things got hard, and I was training on my own, Goggins would appear. Goggins would appear. When David Goggins would come up, Goggins would smack him the f down and say, no, motherfucker, we're going to drag you through this. And that's kind of how it happened over a period of time. This man evolved. Goggins became the guy that can withstand all kind of torture and pain and keep coming after you. And that's where that next step with evolution became.
Well, and we're in a culture that is driving everybody towards this idea that happiness is purchased through luxury, comfort, and ease.
And we want it very fast. If you don't see results in the first 2 days or the first week, I'm done. That's the mentality of most people. The struggle is too real. We're not patient. We like in a world where you can Google the best restaurants around me right now, no one is patient. And people want to find peace immediately. I don't believe that shit. You ain't gonna find it in some room. You're gonna find peace from going to war with yourself, because we all got shit. We all got shit. People look at me. The reason why my story resonates with people
because I don't hide. I'll tell you exactly who the I am. I will admit to it. People are great at hiding. So they want to just find peace. No, you got to take your shit, fix whatever's up in you. Don't just shove it under the rug. Fix it, and then you'll find some peace later. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world. The lessons aren't learned at the top of the mountain, my friend. The lessons are learned in the middle, at the beginning, never at the very top. As a man looking at another man, you know when a man's done. I want to see a man get broken and say, "F you." I love these men. These men I love, but there's very few of them. There's very few of them. And there's very few that are willing to go there more than once. I no longer wanted to be a victim in my mind. I wanted to dominate when most people would refuse to dominate. I wanted to dominate under the most harsh environment. I don't care about winning. For some, I just want to go the distance. My brainstorming sessions is out there in the grip of life, grinding. And that's where all my material comes from, the suck. Every bit of it comes from the suck. I like suffering in the way that is competitive, that brings out the absolute best in me and in everybody else. I was like, man, this rest of your life is gonna suck. It is going to suck, not because you're gonna be a loser, but because you're gonna finally start to win. And winning is not easy, my friend. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And then when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. Because repetition is what taught me everything. So you can honestly outwork anything. A lot of you came from a lot of different places and have zero belief. That is something you're not gonna get from a book, and you're not gonna get from some motivational speaker. I get it from hours and hours and days and decades of being in the grind. So when my time comes, when I fail and I fail and I fail, I go back to that big ass belief that I built myself, and I know I will make it. We gotta get going. I still must grind. No one really gives a. You have to continue to live your life, or you can choose to be doomed and become a statistic. We think that we're working our ass off, working hard. You know, we've been working out hard in the gym for a month, but we haven't seen any results. So we get off down and poop your pants to shit. You study for 30 minutes for a test, and you didn't do as well as you thought. What the do you expect? You're not putting in the work. You have to do more. You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of shit, man. I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. It's not until then, once you get there, that's when you know you've done enough. You need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better. We need to help people more than just saying it's okay. It's okay that you're not willing to help yourself out. That's not okay. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. Even though it's your life, if that's acceptable, that's unacceptable. What have you done so far? I know the answer. The answer is nothing. You woke up for days and weeks and months. Not like what you saw in the mirror. Going out for a little run. Feeling your damn fat. Jiggling shit. If you want something, everything out there is free to you. Google them up. My diet was breakfast run, lunch run, dinner run, snack run. What am I gonna do? Lose weight? Do bang at work? Study harder? Most of us fail at that shit. Every year we go about 2 weeks and we're done. A competition's coming. The competition is you versus you. When that alarm clock goes off, it's time to get after it. It's to be you and your mind. That's when the demon comes out. Talks to you. Evade. Go back to sleep, man. Stay home. Stay in fuck. Get the up. Maximize minimal potential. People look at me and say, man, that's bullshit. You got a lot of potential. No, I have a lot of accomplishments. that I utilize my maximum potential. I maximize every bit I have to be where I'm at today. That's why I'm not balanced. I don't take days off. I don't have that wiggle room that some people do. And a lot of you don't either. So you gotta make that shit up somewhere. Maximize minimum potential. There may be some days I get up with poopy pants and I'm like, you know what, man? Like, what am I training for? I have no race on the docket. Why am I having this such a structured life? Why? And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I retire every day. I'm done with this shit. And I sit around and I say, okay. And then this is my thought process. So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them. Being fine with being mediocre. You want to go back to who you were, huh, Davey? I'm like, that, man. It's those bad days. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are. Now I'm talking about talent, like some God-given ability. Talent that sometimes you have to hone, you have to work on, and you have to harness yourself. And they just walk around just on their phones, just clueless to how powerful they are. Don't die like this, bro. Don't die like this.
There is a time limit on everything, my friend. Everything has an expiration date. There is no tomorrow. Some of us get granted a tomorrow, but there really is not one. I was lucky, and you never want to bring luck into your life. Hope is bullshit. When I was going through SEAL training, a lot of people hoped that they would pull us from that cold water. Man, hope ain't gonna get you shit because it's not in your hands. Hope is not in your hands. You can't control hope, man. You can't. It's just hopefully this thing happens. But when you get belief, when you start to create belief, and belief isn't like an after school special. Most people think, oh man, like your mom and dad, you need to believe in yourself. Sesame Street, when I was growing up and shit, you need to believe in yourself. That's not the belief I'm talking about. It's the belief that you harness through hard work and dedication. And it's something that you know what you are capable of because you've gone there several times in those dark times. So my belief, why I kept on going back to Navy SEAL training and going back to all these different things, not because I hoped training would get easier. It's because I believed I could make it. Through the training I put myself through, I just wasn't doing and executing as I should. And I knew that. It was all on me. So then when I put that belief into work and that hard work came to fruition, everything happened for me.
I don't live off that hope shit. I wish the water was cold. I wish them motherfuckers keep on running. I wish the rain, when the ending is unknown and the distance is unknown, that's when you know who the you are.
Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. And I find it fascinating. I'm fascinated because I'll be in these moments. I put these guys on some pedestal, and I was this guy who was a piece of shit looking at these, my God, how are you guys this amazing? But once I worked my way up there, I said, my God, man, we can all compete, mother. Let's go.
This guy gets a hold of me in February, talking about how hungry he is. Seconds, nerves, force. Seconds we get done eating all that shit and the food, the house is gone. We go buy more. We're never full. In life, it's important for us to stay hungry. That hunger changes your mentality.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
When you're running, you run for hours. What days?
They don't know me, son.
Get it? 18.
They don't know me, son. Get it. 19. Son.
I choose to keep going forward, but you get to a spot in that race where you don't know what to do. And that's when you find out what you're made of.
We all have time. We all have time. What you don't have is you haven't prioritized your life correctly. What you've done wrong is that you didn't prioritize yourself. You didn't prioritize that, look, motherfucker, I got to get up and win this war today against myself. I need to look better. I need to feel better. I need to eat better. Unreal how much time you waste during the day. And most of it on these fucking computers, phones, Instagramming back and forth, whatever the heck you call it nowadays, tweeting and texting and shit. I can't get it in. But get your schedule. You just wasted 7 hours today on bullshit. I mean, and you don't have an hour a day to try to get something in for yourself.
What the hell were you all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the fucking stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we had this big old rucksack on the back. Had batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the fuck up and do it. Stay home.
So my mentality is this. If you're scared of something, learn about it. Figure it out to overcome it. So I went out and got lessons on how to fly. I'm up in the plane with a pilot. We hit some bad turbulence. And I freaked out. And the pilot said, there's one thing you can't ever do up here. And that's forget to fly the plane. In life, it's a true statement. We have hard times. We hit turbulence. We fail. We fall on our ass. We have divorces. We have all kind of bullshit that happens. And we sit there and think about that one issue. And it's all we think about. And we forget to fly the plane. The plane is us. We forget to focus on everything in life. Our habits, our goals, our destination. We end up failing. So when your plan fails, when those posted laws get too heavy, when you get knocked down the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what the are you gonna do? There's only one option. Stay hard. There'll always be setbacks. So people think I killed that 300-pound man of mine. Oh no. He lurks. That's my inner bitch. Whenever I'm in a setback or defeated, he pops up in my mind. Every morning I wake up and get a nice green smoothie. Get after it. This morning, I smelled the kitchen, bacon and eggs cooking. That big boy in my mind, he's always waiting with a knife and fork in one hand. Bib on there so he don't get all f***ed up. Wait, call me back to the dark side. Oh no, not today, mother. I know how you look. I know how you sound. There'll always be complications and setbacks before the finish line. We must be ready for them. Ha ha! Stay on. If shit goes wrong, apply pressure to it. Ask the gods of the world, is this all you have? Can you give me some more? Put some grind on it. Keep on moving. I hear it all the time. Goggins has a great message, but you don't want to end up like him. His body's all f***ed up. Well, this f***ed up body just got to run a 120-mile week, 2,000 pull-ups, 4,000 push-ups, and hundreds of reps at the gym. You're not afraid of having a f***ed up body. You're afraid of effort. See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being tested. And that road to success is a bumpy-ass road. Has potholes, nails, detours and shit. Yeah. A lot of you are gonna die with a nicely preserved body. No plates, no bad knees, No bruises, no scars. You also have an empty resume. And I'm gonna end with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. If you're not succeeding, you're not achieving, it's because you're afraid to go in that dark place to find yourself. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And in there you get better. The mind's a medieval motherfucker. It's constantly fighting against you. It's the only thing in the history of the world that shows up on time, every time. It has a tactical advantage over you. It knows your fears. It knows your insecurities. It knows everything about you. It may be the only thing in that world that knows all about you. You gotta know about it. It's gonna show up when you don't wanna show up. It's gonna show up at the worst time possible when you wanna be successful. It's gonna say, take the easy road. Take the easy way out. You gotta learn your brain like your brain has learned you. There's a distinct difference between a champion and someone who's just good. Let's use boxing, for instance. It's a 12-round championship bout. At the 11th round, they both go to the corners. Someone that's good sits there and thinks to himself, I have given everything I have. Hopefully, I can get through the 12th round. A champion, he sits in that corner while all of his people are talking to him. He ain't hear shit. All he's thinking about is, I have to find what I haven't given. It's that mentality that truly separates the champions from the motherfuckers who are just good. Stay hard.
I figured out how the brain works. I'm a scared kid, and that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically invincibility. You realize that you can't do it all the time. When you need to do it, I know I can go to a place that I can live in. And when you know that you can run on broken legs and you can do certain things that a lot of people can do, but they're not willing to do, this power, this sympathetic nervous system of fight or flight, and you're fighting, it gives you, the mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times. At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. It's time to get back to work. Get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it. And nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen. You have to put yourself in that situation, man. This charge of energy of when you're sitting there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're duct taping your feet up because they're broken, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're going through arguably one of the hardest training in the world. and these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through it broken, and you're already at a disadvantage, but you're still there, you can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it, well, I'm broken, man. I'm not gonna make it. But if you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here, and I'm fighting, and I'm gonna find a way to get through this, because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power. Your mind does this, because you're out. Once you say, I'm not gonna quit, this is the 40%. When you quit, your mind says, we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, you, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving, so we gotta expand. We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out. Once the mind knows you're not gonna quit something, it's gonna try to find more. It's gonna try to give you more. Once it realizes you're not gonna take the path of least resistance, you're gonna stay here until it's done. My mind and my body and my spirit became one for the first time ever. For the first time ever, it became one. And I went to a level that I never thought was humanly possible for myself or anybody else.
In those times when you want to quit, because we're all human, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days you sacrifice to be the best. Stay hard.
So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen, it was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice, and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that. Right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you gotta be quiet. Shut the up, go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. So you gotta go start your journey. And the journey starts with you finding, why the hell am I here on this planet Earth? Why am I here? And if you don't know that, you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why? If you don't know who you are, I can't tell you who you are.
If you don't get inside your soul, inside your heart, and fix it, you want to go to war with yourself. We don't know when the end is coming to this. So we gotta master that one day. It may keep on getting pushed back, day after day. If you master that day and want to be harder and stronger, you'll figure it out.
Thicken your skin, become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it. And also to never forget where I came from. You know, that's where it starts. It's that mentality of, I'm gonna pick up that Pulaski and I'm gonna dig this fire line for 3 damn miles. That's that mentality I never want to lose. I never want to get so nice with, oh, yeah, I did it, man. I did it, I'm good. Yeah, that mentality of, I'm willing to pick up that shovel and I'm willing to dig a 3-mile line, there's something about that mentality that I'm ready to go to work anytime.
Mediocrity feels so good. So we love surrounding ourselves with mediocre people that give us a get out jail free card. Whenever life gets hard for us, they tell us it's all okay. Don't worry about it. We don't want to surround ourselves with those people out there who are getting the after it every day, holding us accountable, making us feel uncomfortable. People who are challenging us at every turn of life. Those people scare us. That's exactly where you need to be in your life, with those people who put you in a world of questioning who you are. That's exactly where you want to go. That's exactly where you grow. When I was going through Ranger School, we had to do a lot of spot checks. A spot check is basically
We don't have time to get all your gear laid out to make sure you have all your shit. So a spot check is maybe they'll check out 2 items. Maybe making sure you have your extra batteries, extra ammo, whatever it may be. The whole idea of a spot check is to make sure that you're staying squared away, because you don't know what kind of item they're gonna check on. So how does that apply to your life? This is how it applies. You wanna make sure you spot check yourself, make sure you stay dialed in at all times. It's also important to check, spot check your boys, your girls. Make sure that they're staying hard. Call them up in the middle of the night. Give them a call and say, hey, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're gonna get after it. Make sure they're staying dialed in. A buddy of mine calls me the other day and says he's having trouble running past 8 miles. This is a guy who can run 30 miles any time of the day. So I tell him to come out to my house and we'll get some runs in. So he comes out, he goes, man, I'm telling you, I can't run past 8 miles. But I realize in his life, he's added a new kid, more responsibilities at work, all this stuff. He's not thinking about this, I am. So I take him out for a run. We get 30 minutes into it. How far are we going, Goggins? I ain't tell him. Get an hour into it, I ain't tell him. Hour and a half into it, didn't tell him. So soon he shuts up. We run 3 hours. The guy does fine. Next day we go out there, he's able to run 20 miles again. So this is what happened to him. His circuit breaker blew. Our minds are very similar to circuit breakers. When they blow, you gotta figure out what it is. Sometimes you just add it too much to your plate. Go back in your mind and figure it out. Never forget to train your mind. In life, a lot of us work our ass off, trying to get to a better place, a place that makes us feel better about ourselves. Some people want to do ultra races. They're starting to PR during training. Some people want to be a lawyer or a medical student. So they're taking these practice tests and they're crushing the practice test. But guess what happens? Once you get to the actual event, your mind isn't ready. Your mind's not prepared. You've been studying, you've been training, you've been working out, but your mind's not prepared. Story for you. When I was 19 years old, I was going through the Air Force trying to be a pararescueman. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, swimming. I was doing all this shit, knocking out of the park. One of the best in the class. But the second obstacle got in my way, I wasn't prepared for it mentally. I was a beast. All I was doing was I was training a bigger, stronger, faster quitter. You gotta train your mind for all obstacles that might get in your way. Stay hard. This isn't for anyone looking for a break. There is no finish line, so stop looking for one. Don't believe if you work your ass off that one day you'll hit that finish line. There's only one finish line in life, and that is death. You must find our limits in everything we do and push slightly beyond it. Remember this, just because you worked your ass off, it doesn't mean you will achieve what you've been working for. Very few of the mindset to work their ass off with no guaranteed success. Never expect greedy results. Have an endurance mindset. You're going to stay in the suck longer than anyone else. True victory comes when there are no crowds and no finish lines. The real victory is your bonus to work your ass off while no one's watching. Stay hard. So there's different leadership styles. One right now is in this weekend society. It's the instant gratification. Give them a pound of back the second they do anything. Show them that they're doing a good job. Guess what? There's a lot of things in life that don't deserve a pound of back. A pound of back comes when you overachieve things that you're supposed to do. In life, there's a lot of things we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be our best. We're supposed to get up early. We're supposed to work out. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to do all these things that people are now looking for a pound of back. How about this leadership style? Instead of people buying into the pound of back, buying into this shit right here, buying into the fact that, guess what? Instead of looking for a pound of back, then they look at being a better team person. Then look at better self. Then look at doing a better family, all this other shit. Look at being the person that you're not looking for a pound of back, but you're leading from the front, knowing one thing. As a human being, we're supposed to do these things. So, I get an email the other day. This young man wants to be a ranger, but he's afraid to go to ranger school. Not because how hard the training is, but because he's afraid if he fails, what people are going to say by judging him. One thing in life, this applies to everything in life. Anytime you move from being normal to trying to be exceptional,
people aren't gonna like that shit. Those normal people, it makes them feel like shit, so they're gonna judge you. And nowadays, it's very easy to be a coward. Why? We got Instagram and shit. Most folks don't tell you to your face. They go online, they post about like cowards. Don't let cowards get in your head. And last thing, make sure you do you. Stay hard.
Life is a training ground. While you may live a long life, it doesn't mean you graduated at the top of the class. You just lived a long, boring, despicable life. And that's not what I wanted to do. When you're truly committed to something, not like where you like, I want to be a doctor, but when I run into this roadblock, I don't want to be a doctor. No, I'm going to be a doctor come hell and high water. I needed that kind of commitment. And David Goggins didn't know about that commitment. I knew how to wash a car. I knew how to clean a house. I knew how to, do all these manual labor jobs. But when it came down to true suffering, to the highest of suffering, I didn't have that next level of, all right, we have this next level. David Goggins wasn't enough. So I went into my mental lab and realized, but I want to be great, but I don't have greatness in me. So I had to create a mother that was great. And in my mind, I'm really big on visualization. I went in my mind, I said, okay, I want to look like this. I want to feel like this. And I want to have a mind that is cast iron steel. That is never dull. That is always sharp. That was the biggest thing I wanted. I wanted to hit obstacles that most people up, including myself, but I didn't waver. I didn't fear. I didn't run away. I just stayed and marinated in the fear, in the suffering. Why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So that's the only purpose I need. I watched this segment on TV about these guys going through Navy SEAL training. And I couldn't even, I wasn't a great swimmer. I was afraid of the water, all this crap, man. I saw these guys just quitting. But at the very end, it says 22 guys. This commanding officer's up there and he gives this great speech. So I started visualizing me being the 23rd guy, sitting there with these guys. I said, man, if I could feel that, that would change my life. I wanted to win. Not like beat somebody else. It wasn't about that. I just wanted to go the distance. Everything in my life, when something got hard, I quit. I had to work harder than you. So I quit. Like, man, if I could just go that distance, that extra mile, to just I could feel like these guys feel, it would change my life. And literally, I started feeling victory just by putting myself in the battle. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles, now we can move from there. But if you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here. And I'm fighting, and I'm gonna find a way to get through this because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power. And no one really finds themselves without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every fucking day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. The more I do this, the more I gain confidence. And then the more I gain confidence, the more I realize, fuck these Navy SEALs, man. These guys can't do what I'm doing right now. I had no coach, had no trainer, had no money. I didn't know how to lose weight. I had no knowledge of what I was doing. I was just working. I was just sacrificing. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place. And your true self is found in that very uncomfortable zone. That's where he came from. He came from all these fucked up obstacles, and now he's there. So everybody goes, how do you do that? You know exactly how to do that.
Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in help. The mental standard is you must know how far you've come.
You must take this knowledge that you learn from all this shit is knowledge. So I'm just trying to give people that strength to go in the archives of your life. Because while you're probably f***ed up, there's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself.
Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? The purpose is you. We forget that. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do some shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a today? Do you want to feel like a little, do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world because that's where you find yourself. You have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace. Nothing is easy. Like running is running. It sucks, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You don't want to study? You study. That's how you start to callous your mind. So that became my life. If you say you're going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go run, wake up at 4 o'clock it's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck.
I know what darkness looks like. I know what it feels like to be alone with no motivation, no drive, no passion. For the first 20-some years of my life, it was just darkness. But if you are able to get up every morning, have no passion, no drive, no motivation, no shit, and still get up with that kind of fire, you will be successful in life. My brainstorming sessions is out there in the grip of life, grinding. And that's why all my material comes from the suck. Every bit of it comes from the suck. There's several days I don't want to do shit. I procrastinate like a This is one of those days, man. I put my shoes and my socks and my shorts on every day. Woke up this morning and just stared at them. Didn't want to do shit. Didn't know why I was doing the shit. A lot of times we forget just how badass we are. So what I do, and I've done for so many years, I write down. I've been writing, so this book right here, this is just about a 3-year book, but I've been writing down for years what I do. So I open up to a page today, look at it, and I go through looking at 18 miles, 16 miles, 17 miles, 15 miles, 16, 116 mile week, 123 mile week, 20, 18, 16, all by myself, training alone, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, all this shit I write down here to remind me of the work I put into the craft that is myself.